Hey guys, just a quick review here on a coordinate plane. So right here we have a coordinate plane. Normally you would see it with a bunch of other lines making kind of like a grid. But just to kind of get the basics down, a coordinate grid or coordinate plane, they're kind of referenced interchangeably. It consists of two axes. This horizontal line is your x-axis, and this vertical line is your y-axis. This part where they cross, that is what we call the origin. So what happens with the graph? Well, when we're talking about x and y, we're referring to something called a coordinate. So this coordinate is made up of two numbers, a number in the x spot and a number in the y spot, and they are between parentheses separated by a comma. You can think of this as a location. It just tells you where to go on the graph. So for example, if I had the point 1, 2, starting in the middle, you always start in the origin. Starting in the middle, I would go over one space because my x was 1, so I have to travel this number on the horizontal x-axis, and then I would travel this number, my y, on the y-axis. So I go up 2. And that would be the point 1, 2. Now, how do we know which way we're going? Well, it all depends on the sign of the numbers. So if I go this way, I'm talking about positive x values and positive y values. But we know there's also negative numbers. And that's how we get into the rest of this plane. A lot of times you'll only see this guy here, which we call the first quadrant. Then if we go around, we have quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4, because there's 4 quadrants, right? 4 sections. So let's take a look at what happens when we start playing with the negatives. First thing you need to know is that the origin is the one dividing positive and negative x's and y's, right? So here I have my positive x's, here I have my negative x's. Positive y's, negative y. So let's say I have these same numbers, but now I make the x negative. You're going to notice that the point is still going to be in line with this one, but now it's going to be over here because my x, the first number, is now negative. So I'm going to go 1 in the negative direction and then up 2. So these two are, pretend for all intents and purposes, lined up. The only difference is I'm on the negative side. And we can change these up all around. So I can make both of them negative, right? So starting at the origin, I'm going to go negative 1 on the x again, but now I'm going to go down 2. And of course, we can go where the y is the only one negative. So I go over positive 1, but down negative 2. As long as you remember plus x plus y minus x minus y, you should be able to graph fine. A lot of times you don't have to remember the different quadrant names, though I do think they're very helpful and you should. You just have to remember you start in the middle, positive x, negative x, positive y, negative y. And remember when we're talking about x and y, we're referring to these two numbers, the coordinate you were given. And that's pretty much it.